30 Thai cities in 30 days, and I'm walking through a winery. And this isn't necessarily a city, but it's a place I've been wanting to see for a while. It's called Khao Yai. And this is the wine region of Thailand. And I'm between Buriram and Pattaya. My next stop on this adventure is going to be Pattaya. And my previous one, if you've been following along, you know I was in Buriram. And now I'm halfway between about. I stopped here in the wine region, and it's beautiful. It surprised me. I think Thailand keeps surprising me in different ways on this trip. And the wine's amazing. If you remember my episode from up north, I had a bottle of this wine with me, and I enjoyed it in the middle of the rice fields. It's one of Thailand's most premier wines. If you go to, say, like a Blue Elephant or restaurants in Bangkok, or even Food by Fire, where I was in Khon Kaen, if you watch that episode, they serve the wine, and it's really good. But this is a stop I've been wanting to make for a while, and no better time than to do it during this journey of 30 Thai cities in 30 days. This might be the exception that it's not actually a city, but it's a place. And I think it's a place that I'm glad I stopped at. This winery is really cool. They have a tour, so you can get on the kind of like the golf cart type of thing, and they take you through all the vineyard, and they have a really good tour guide, and they let you pick some grapes and eat the grapes. Wow, quite good. Thank you, Ben.
Thank you.
Ben, it's from Ubon Ratchathani.
Yes.
Eastern
From
Thailand.
Isan, yes.
Isan. Awesome. Really good grapes. Arroy.
Yeah, it's aroy.
Or sep.
Yeah, sap, is sap. Yeah.
And in Isan you say sep.
Yeah, it says sap is mean aroy. It mean delicious. Yeah.
And then they take you over to there's kind of like a cheese and wine area where they'll do some wine tasting. And then there's the fermentation that they'll take you to.
Hello.
This is Tui. He's from Buriram. I just came from Buriram
Oh, really?
to come here. I rode my motorbike here, and he loves Buriram United.
Yes,
And
I'm quite a big fan.
Now he's like interning. He wants to work here at the winery at GranMonte, and you can see we're in the fermentation room. It's quite nice, and it gets nice and cool in here. Nice break from the heat outside. Yeah, Tui?
Yes.
So when you guys come here to visit, by then he will no longer be an intern.
Yeah.
He might be running the whole show,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Good, man.
It's my hope.
Yeah. And what about Buriram United?
Yes. I think they can fly higher.
You think so?
Yes.
I think so too.
I definitely.
And then on the grounds here, there is a restaurant. And then something that really got my heart here at GranMonte, because I'm a dog lover. I think this is one more reason to love GranMonte Vineyard, because they have a dog rescue here. It's on my list for this year. I'm going to adopt a dog. And these guys they obviously came from the street, what they call a soy dog. And they obviously look nourished now and happy and healthy and ready to be adopted. But what a cool part of this winery, where they also offer the dog adoption and the rescue of dogs. And then the hotel is right here on the grounds. I'll give you guys a quick tour of the hotel. And it's very convenient. There's a hotel here right on the grounds of GranMonte, so you can stay here. In the rooms right now, it's kind of the high season, so it's between $4,000 and $5,000, about $140, $150. But then during the low season, they discount the rooms maybe 30 or 40%. But right now it's pretty comfortable. You can see you have a nice big comfortable bed, nice bathroom, and you have this amazing view of the vineyard. So we're on the top floor. There's a bottom floor too, and it's a little more expensive on the bottom floor, but I'll tell you what, I'd like to come up here and just look right out there and see this beautiful view. It's quite awesome. And then the closest town, I'll share a few more details about this area of Thailand, because I'll need to drive through the little town nearby here called Pak Chong. And when I do so, probably in the morning, I'll grab a coffee as I make my way to Pattaya. But man, I'm so excited that I finally got to experience the Thailand wine region, and maybe call that the Napa in me. I'm just a Napa kid. I grew up in Napa, California, and man, I'm glad I made this stop. If you're ever in this area, I highly recommend it. Good. All right, guys. Now we're going to do some wine tasting. I'm here with Game. Game, thanks a lot. We're going to have a little wine tasting. Wine tasting. And I sit down here, and I'm sitting next to Brian, Debbie, and Veronica. They're from Orange County, right? Yes. Orange County. I'm going to slide right here. So they come to Khao Yai because you're living in Pattaya.
Pattaya.
For how long?
We're there for about another year. We've been there for about 8 months.
8 months already. But you're visiting.
Yes.
So if I have this right, your sister, Brian,
My sister,
brother,
my
sister,
wife.
and wife. Okay. And why Khao Yai? How?
Why not?
Oh no, we just love nature and
Yeah.
wanted to come to the first national park of Thailand. So.
Yeah, because typically people come to Khao Yai for the national park, but I don't know how many. I wasn't expecting to meet very many travelers here at the winery.
Winery.
Well, I think though that winery portion for us was definitely a plus. Like, hey, we wanted to come to see nature and want to see what the first national park in Thailand. And then after doing more research, like Khao Yai in the valley is like really well known for wine. So we love drinking. So.
What's your
So
first
why not?
impression of the wine region here?
Oh, I think it's incredible. I love how it's localized, first of all, and I love that 15-minute video where they, explained as much as they could and in detail in terms of what they're doing differently than the rest of the world. So
Yeah.
I think it's very unique, and not a lot of people know about Thai wine specifically. And so just another opportunity to immerse yourself in another culture that you're unknown of.
One more question for you guys. So you're living in Pattaya for 10 months now, right?
8 months.
8 months. Veronica, you're visiting, but you left Orange County. And
Everyone loves it out here.
question.
We love it.
any quick takes?
Some advice is, we contemplated moving overseas for, upwards of 5 years. And, we decided to give it a shot, and, it's probably the best decision that we've made, just to try and experience somewhere else outside of the States, and then expand your horizon, expand your perspective. That's the most important thing. Yeah.
But this is one reason I travel right here, is some of the people that I meet along the way. So I came out here to Khao Yai. I wasn't expecting to meet, any Americans out here. I thought it was going to be kind of a local tourism spot. So that's it. We're going to keep doing some wine tasting and keep this adventure going. As a matter of fact, I'll be in Pattaya next.
Yeah.
That's my next stop on this 30 Thai cities in 30 days. Cheers. One more stop at the wine region of Thailand. I'm at PB Valley Vineyard, and PB is the founder or the owner of Sing Beer, I believe. So once he mastered beer, he decided to master wine. So I'm trying some wine at PB Valley Vineyard, which are also my initials. So it's quite nice though. If you look around, it's just beautiful. This is a beautiful region of Thailand and definitely worth checking out. And I guess the story goes, in a way, it is disruptive or innovative or whatever you want to call it, because the Thailand wine region is at a totally different latitude is what was known for growing grapes. And I guess I might be a little bit off on the facts, but I guess they kind of disrupted how wine can be grown out of that latitude zone. And I don't know the specs. I'll pop them up on the screen as factoids as far as what's supposed to be the ideal latitude to grow grapes and make wine, and where the latitude is for here, Khao Yai in Thailand. So since this is such a quick layover between Buriram and Pattaya, I only have time to stop at a couple wineries, but I didn't want to miss this one. Good morning from the small town of Pak Chong. It's right next to the wine region, and this town is about 50,000 people. I'm seated here at a little cafe that functions as a art studio and has really good coffee. I'm gonna put the links to everywhere I went on this video in the description. You can just click on that Google Maps link and you'll find all the locations I visited right there. Some final thoughts about the visit to the wine region of Thailand and the two questions I ask on every video. One, is it worth visiting as a tourist? Two, would it be a place I would choose to live as an expat? And I think there's two parts here. We have the wine zone, and then if you were to come visit this little town, Pak Chong, it's kind of a little bustling center if you look at it. There's a train stop, so you can, in fact, take the train from, say, the Bangkok airport. It's only just over 2 hours. And then you can also see, if you put the drone up, you can see where they're building the new rail system that's going to make the commute from Bangkok to here really fast. I think right now, if you were to drive from Bangkok, it's about 3 hours. And the town itself, it's kind of unusual, I guess, because it's almost like this major thoroughfare. It feels like a highway, goes right through the center of it. But then in the mornings, it's bustling. It just feels busy. There's the market, a lot of action going on, and I think the population here is about 50,000 people or so. Is it worth visiting as a tourist? Absolutely. The wine region, in particular, I enjoyed GranMonte. Beautiful winery, really good wine, good experience. They have a dog rescue there. Met some really great people also visiting. And you'll even notice when you're kind of in that mountainous region where the vineyards are, it's a little bit cooler. Would I choose to live here as an expat? I think there's two parts to that. One, this little town of Pak Chong. Two, where the wineries are, and that's special. I think if you were just wanting a quiet kind of farm style life in the country, that would be a great spot. And what I noticed when I was driving through there, I didn't capture any video of it, but I feel like they're building these big villas or these big compounds. I feel like it's an area of Thai affluence, if you want to use that word, affluence, where they're going to build these homes and maybe they can go to the cocktail party after and say, I have a home in the wine country, something like that. But moving forward 10 years from now, I think you're going to see a lot of like these luxury homes, villas, compounds in the wine region of Thailand. For Pak Chong, this little town, wow, it's local. It's the gateway to the national park. So the national park is right here. And it's also where you come if you want to go explore the wine region if you didn't rent a car. So if you took a train, you could take a train in, and there's these little motorbike rentals all around the train station. You could easily motorbike over there. But for me, that's it for me. I'm going to finish my coffee and head to Pattaya. So I'll see you tomorrow on the next episode coming to you from Pattaya. As a matter of fact, the next 3 episodes are subsections of Pattaya. And then it gets kind of wild for me because it goes right into Songkrong, the Thai New Year, which I plan to do, in fact, 3 stops for the Thai New Year. I'll be in Bangkok, then I'll fly to Suratani, and then I'll go over to a smaller town of Sichon to kind of give a sample of what Songkrong looks like in the city, smaller city, and then a small town. I'll see you on the next episode.